Hey, good morning everybody. This is John from Volkswagen Planet. It's June 14th, 2018. And the car you see in front of you is a 1970 Volkswagen Beetle, non-Super Beetle. Super Beetles came out in 71. So this is the last year of what some people call the good Beetles or the standard Beetles. This right here is a deluxe version of the Super Beetle, the regular Beetle. And I'll show you that when we get closer to the car, what makes this the deluxe version. And for those of you who are new in the hobby or just trying to get in and get some information, let me show you a couple things as we're walking around the car and as time goes on here. The biggest thing between Super Beetles and non-Super Beetles are the front ends right here. As you can tell where the shot goes right here, this all non-Super Beetles, which are from the very first one up until 77, I believe. But as a 71, they were actually both Super Beetle and non-Super Beetle. This is a non because this has a beam front end, and I'll show you the strut here in just a second. But that's how you tell basically the main difference between a standard Beetle and a Super Beetle. So let's take a walk around this car. This car I got about 2 years ago. It was a quote father-son project. It's got a lot of crazy situations going on. I'll point that out here as we're going along. As you can tell, it's not that bad as far as structural. There are some rust spots. There are some spots that get pretty bad. This right here I wanted to talk to you about, which is pretty interesting and is not the way it's supposed to be, guys. So not too bad. Like I said, they came back here, they actually started to do their own rust repair. Just going to show you the spots real quick. But for most parts it's pretty strong, pretty good. I mean, strong, pretty solid. Let me see if I can get you under the car real quick to take a look at the pans. The pans are pretty good, as you can tell. But the biggest part on this one, and they actually cut this out, which I don't know why they did that. Well, I know why they did this now. But as you can tell, under the door right here, it's cut out all the way down. And that's where the convertibles get all their strength from. Thank God you can replace that. It's a frame stiffener. And I'm going to take a walk back here to the back. And like I said, it's got your basic 1600 dual port. And the way you can tell a dual port is by these double camelback right there. It was a single what's it called? A single. Sorry about it. If it was a single port, it'd only have one of these versus two. So, as you guys can tell, who know what bugs look like, what's missing right here? You usually go right about in this area, right about here. It's a fuel pump. Now, far as I know, this is supposed to have a mechanical fuel pump, not electrical, because electrical would be on the fuel injection ones. So the story I got in this one was they were trying to put it together to make it a roller, and let me show you the extent they went to go about creating this ordeal here. But let's take a finish walk around the bug, and when we get to the front, I'll show you that's what's going on. As you can tell, the convertibles have the drip pan up on the deck lid, which is, I'm surprised it's still there. Going back in the records, I am the actual third owner of this vehicle. Take a look back in here. Like I said, it's really not that bad a shape. A little bit of TLC, and basically just put it back together. I say that because that's how all my projects are. Again, a little bit of rust down here on the stiffener. frame, or the pans are solid. Little bit of a crusty situation going on down there on the inner fender well, but that's, you know, they all do that. So, you guys ready for this one? I still laugh to this day on this one here. All right, so when I first got this car, there was literally a 2-gallon gas can sitting right on that front part of the floorboard right there. So as you can tell, they went to the expense of putting the electronic fuel pump, ran this whole entire monstrosity all the way down, all the way to the back. So as you can tell, you know, there's a fuel line, so obviously the fuel line's good, and the owner's the last owner said that they just didn't know what to do, and his son was a quote auto mechanics, going to auto mechanics in high school, and this is how he fixed it. Feel sorry for the customers his car that they work on. This car I think is still worth saving because it's got the Volkswagen tag. It still has all the stickers, and like I said, it's got the moisture catch container right there. So like I said, it's just missing a few things. Oh, let me show you what Volkswagen considered to be a deluxe model versus the standard, and the way you can tell. These little clips here, as you guys have seen them, there's a chrome trim that goes on here. Goes on both sides. That was basically Volkswagen's option package to call them the deluxe models. To the best of my knowledge, all the convertibles from 69 and up, when they went to what they call the IRS suspension, independent rear suspension, which is basically this type of action, which is the CV joints. That's how you can tell this would be the newer version. They had what's called a swing axle and an independent rear suspension, or IRS. And that's what this one is right here. This is an IRS. And like I said, that's what they did. But like I said, get back to the trim. As you can tell, this one's missing the actual pieces, but you can tell they actually have the chrome pieces on there. The doors do open. Like I said, it's a complete car. There's no, you know, it's all dry. It's all there. Like I said, it's a pretty solid car. And let's take a look at the battery tray here. And that's the battery tray. Usually they're all rotted out and, you know, kaput. But this one seems to be pretty solid. It is all original. And like I said, it's just really dirty right now. So, let's see. Like I said, clothes are really nice. Like I said, except for this little molding right here. I just haven't trimmed it. Like I said, lines up pretty good. Got good lines. Just need some TLC. So I think I saved this one just in time. And this will be a project I think I can get on the road a lot quicker than the Super Beetle. But I don't know. Like I said, we'll see how time goes and my health goes. Let's go take a look at the Super Beetle real quick, and I'll show you what the difference was in the front ends here, just to give you guys an idea, since it's pretty close. As you guys remember, this is a 72 Super Beetle, and this is what's known as the McPherson struts. And as you can tell, it doesn't mount on a beam like the other one did. There would be a beam right here if it was a non-Super Beetle, but there's that big strut, as you can tell. 71 and 72 look like regular Super Beetles, look like regular bugs, and 73 and above had that big gap right here. Then the hood will start up here. Another way to tell a Super Beetle, if it's factory, is these little louvers here. Those are prominent for all Super Beetles, 71 through 79. But let's walk back to the convertible. That's where the main video is all about. So like I said, I picked this up from a father-son project, and got about 2 years ago. Now it's time to knock the dust off of it and put it back on the road. I live in Florida. It'd be great to put the top down, cruise around. I'm showing you here the apron. Remember on the Super Beetle, it had those little grills and everything else. So that's another way to tell a Super Beetle from regular Beetle. Let's go ahead and end this video. It's been 10 minutes. Just want to say thank you guys again for all your support through my health problems up and down. And so I'm just doing a little quick walk around here so you guys can see the whole entire picture. And like I said, I got a bunch of parts, and just kind of hard to get going when you don't have the energy. Some of you may not know, but like I said, I don't want to be held to a different standard than you guys. Instead, I need to get my butt going. That's what keeps me going mentally, physically, and so on. But again, guys, it's 1970 Beetle, classic Beetle convertible, ready for restoration, daily driver, and hopefully if you guys go to Bug Jam up in Pasco County, you might see this next year. So as always, guys, take care. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all your comments. We do appreciate it. I personally appreciate all the comments. And God bless your family. God bless you. Keep dubbing. And we'll catch you in the next video. All right, guys. Have a good one.